In this video, you'll discover the best strategies that you must know about if you really want to lose weight. Millions of people struggle to lose weight. So can we be honest here and just admit that this is a challenge that many people struggle with? Most people are eating foods on a daily basis and walking around with excess weight that they know deep down leads to heart disease and serious problems in their future, but yet they still struggle to make change. And so a lot of people, when it comes to weight loss, they're hyper-focusing in certain areas, but they never see the big picture. They never see it clearly. So that's why in this video, I'm going to give you a clear path as to what you need to do and make this the last video that you need to watch on weight loss. So stick around to the end, but before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join our notification community so I can help you excel your health and your life. Now, like I said, a lot of people are hyper-focusing on all the wrong things. They're missing the big picture. So stick around to the end of this video because as we go through each one of these topics, at the end of the video, I will break it down and make it all very clear as to how you can approach every single day and lose a ton of weight and do it in a very healthy way that's sustainable. So let's first go ahead and talk about calories. Okay, this is important because it is pretty much one of the top things that you have to understand when it comes to weight loss. A lot of people see this and they go, oh, not calories. I hate counting calories. Trust me, I get it. I personally don't even like counting calories. When I work with patients, it's probably one of the biggest things that they give me pushback on. I don't want to count my calories. I don't want to deal with that. Well, if you're serious about weight loss, you have to, because whether you're following the ketogenic diet, whether you're following one meal a day, any of these different strategies out there, essentially, you can still end up in a problem where you're not losing weight because you don't understand your calories, okay? So I want to break down calories and make it very simple for you to understand, okay? So it's really that concept where you have to make sure that you understand how many calories you need on a daily basis. And I'm going to use me for an example, okay? So on a daily basis, my baseline calories that I need in order to maintain where I'm at, in order to maintain my weight is about 2,500 calories, okay? Now, if I want to lose about a pound of fat per week, okay, one of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to eat less food and I'm going to have to come in at a calorie deficit. So if I come in at a calorie deficit every single day of 500 calories, I will essentially lose about a pound a week at this point, okay? Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if I wanted to gain weight, and I wanted to gain about a pound a week, I would eat 500 calories more per day. Now, this is important to understand because a lot of people are like, I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, obviously you're consuming too much food here. And so that is why you're gaining weight. So first thing is we have to figure out what our baseline calories are, okay? And what you can do is you can go online and you can punch your numbers into a calculator. A lot of people ask me, Dr. Zyrowski, how many calories do I need? There'll be people in the comments section on videos saying, how many calories do I need? Well, you really have to figure it out because it's based on you. What's your age? What's your sex? What's your activity levels? That all makes a difference, okay? So what you do is you put this information in and then you will get a number spit back out at you, okay? We'll put a link to a calorie calculator or, somewhere where you can find that right with this video. So you put those numbers in and it tells you your number. Now, once you understand that number, you will look at it and understand that that number can be off a little bit, all right? Just because there's not going to be anything that's going to give you an exact perfect number, okay? It may be 50 calories too many, 50 calories too less. You're going to figure out exactly where you need to be by monitoring your calories on a daily basis and seeing how your body responds. Am I a little bit too fatigued? Am I losing weight too fast? Am I losing weight too slow? We have to really understand our calories. And I know that it sounds complex, but look, all the food lists the calories that you are eating when you consume a certain serving size. The other thing too is if you're part of our meal plan, we break down the calories for you. So it makes it very simple. We have a meal plan program where we do this. We give you monthly recipes. We give you the calories in it. And so with the calories, we have to understand too that we don't want to deficit too heavily. Some people go, well, I want to lose 30 pounds. So if I want to lose 30 pounds, I'm going to hit a 1,500 calorie deficit every single day because that way I'll go and lose 3 pounds a week. But the problem is that that's not healthy and is not sustainable. And if you're doing a too big of a calorie deficit every single day, you're eventually going to crash your metabolism and cause problems for yourself, cause cravings, and just create a cycle of problems you don't want to deal with. Trust me, because I deal with patients who do this to themselves, and it's probably one of the most frustrating things that can happen because it leans into a lot of psychological problems as well around food. Now, as we go and we start losing weight, so let's say that you have 30 pounds to lose. One of the things that we have to do is once we hit that 10-pound loss or that 20-pound loss, we have to go and refigure out our baseline. So let's say that I'm at 2,500 calories today and I have 10 pounds to lose. Once I lose that 10 pounds, I go and I recalculate how many calories I need a day. I recalculate my deficit. I recalculate everything because that will change. The goal will change. The mark will change. And we have to keep, putting in our new calories and figuring that out as we go. The calories you need to sustain the weight that you're at now and sustain weight loss at where you're at now will change once you lose weight. So you just reconfigure your calories and keep moving forward, okay? So when it comes to calories, it's something that you really need to identify. Like I said, a lot of people will get caught up into certain strategies like one meal a day or using apple cider vinegar, and they'll go, well, it didn't work with weight loss. Well, there's no magic pill out there, right? It just really, you have to take all these different pieces, put that puzzle together, and this is how it's sustainable. Let's keep moving forward here. Intermittent fasting is incredibly powerful when it comes to weight loss. I talk about this all the time, whether it's 16 and 8 or one meal a day, it doesn't really matter. Now, let me tell you, 16 and 8, this means that you're fasting for 16 hours, eating all your meals within an 8-hour period, or one meal a day, where you basically eat all your meals throughout the day in a 2-hour period. They both work very well. It's really your choice as to which one you want to use. Now, the reason this works well is because it really pushes fat burning in the body. So what happens is you are going to start mobilizing these free fatty acids in your body. You're going to start mobilizing that fat that's on your arms or on your belly. When you're in that fasted state, you're kind of pushing your body to go and start burning fat for energy rather than sugar while you're fasting. And so intermittent fasting is something that is really, really powerful. I don't want to get hung up on that, but it's something that, like I said, if you just do it, and let me tell you this too, if you need to learn more about intermittent fasting to fully comprehend it, I'll put links in the description below to where you can get more information. But if you just start doing intermittent fasting, it really helps move the needle when it comes to weight loss. Okay, so what you can do is wake up in the morning and push your first meal back to noon or to 1 o'clock. And as a result, you automatically intermittent fasted. You pushed your body to start burning fat. You raised growth hormone. You really dropped down your blood sugar, dropped down the fat storing hormones, and it really is helpful. So intermittent fasting is almost a must if you want to have a good, healthy lifestyle, and it is effortless. That's the good part, okay? There's some things that take some effort. Counting calories, like I said, it takes some effort, but it works. It also is something that's very insightful to your eating habits. Now let's talk about exercise, okay? And this is another big thing because a lot of people go, well, you got to be doing HIIT training. You got to be doing, a 30-minute walk a day. You have to be doing weightlifting and you have to be doing a ton of core workouts. I mean, how many people want to lose fat around their belly and they sit there and do hours of core workouts? You're totally missing the boat, okay? But here's the deal. It's not just about exercise. Like I said, it's about many of these other topics we're talking about. So if we want to lose weight, we have to make sure that we're exercising, whether it's a 30-minute walk a day, whether it's sprinting and HIIT training, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's long distance running. I mean, you just have to be getting your exercise in, okay? Doing a little combination of everything is always beneficial, okay? The long distance running has benefits for the body. The walking has benefits. The weightlifting all has benefits. I mean, mixing it up is beneficial, but at the end of the day, one of the things we have to understand is that exercise is like a core nutrient that the body needs. And when it comes to losing weight, it sure helps because let me tell you, if you can have 2,500 calories for the day and then you go in and you do a workout and you burn 500 calories, it sure is nice because for one, it can automatically give you that deficit you needed, or that it can allow you to have more calories that day. So it kind of opens up the amount of food that you can have. So exercising is really powerful and very important. Like I said, I'll go and do like an 8-mile run and it sure is nice because that will put me in like a 700-800 calorie deficit just like that without even trying. And so doing exercise is great. Next is the perfect diet, okay? This is important because a lot of people get hooked up on the diet, and a lot of people just, kind of find themselves in this rigid eating pattern that they have to follow, otherwise they get stressed out. I have to do the ketogenic diet because this is the only way you can lose weight. I have to do the vegan diet because it's the only way that you can fix your hormones. A lot of people get caught in these patterns, and let me tell you, there's not a perfect diet out there, okay? The perfect diet is the perfect diet for you. Now, you should be following the right diet, okay? You should be making sure that you're cutting out sugar. You should make sure that you're eating low carb. You should make sure that you're eating whole foods and cut out all the different trash, prepackaged junk foods that you don't want to be eating. Now, you should be doing that. You should be eating a healthy diet, okay? But as far as getting caught up on a particular diet, it's not that necessary. Now, the thing is, if you have insulin resistance and you have some serious problems going on, you're type 2 diabetic, the ketogenic diet is very beneficial in these cases, but it's not a must to lose weight because some people think that's all that matters. I've worked with patients and, they start following the ketogenic diet. They lose a ton of weight, but then they plateau and they're super frustrated because then in some cases they even start gaining weight. And it's like, well, you're missing a bunch of these other pieces here. You're only hyper focusing on one thing, and that's diet, okay? So let's circle back and let's put this all together and have it make sense, okay? Now, first of all, once we know our calories, it makes life easier. We pay attention to our calories, and if you're someone who struggles with it, you can kind of fall into a pattern of eating some of the same foods on a weekly or bi-weekly basis just so that you can have the proper measurements and is not as difficult during this time of weight loss until you figure things out a bit, okay? So figure out your calories and then start intermittent fasting. So here's how this works. You wake up in the morning, you push your first meal back to about noon, 1 o'clock, okay? Let's say if you're doing 16 and 8. And the great part is you'll have your first meal around noon. Now, when you do that, here's what you're going to do is you're going to have a meal that's like, let's say for me, I can have 2,500 calories. Let's say I have a meal that is right around 1,000 calories. Let's keep the number simple. So I have 1,000 calorie meal and that's sustainable for me. It feels good and I'm ready to move on with my day. So we push that first meal back to noon. We had that, it was 1,000 calories, and then I don't need to eat again until dinner. Now, when dinner rolls around, guess what? I got 1,500 calories to work with, so I can have a huge satiating dinner and really feel good about myself. And so we're eating good, healthy foods. A lot of times I like to get my exercise in prior to my breaking my fast, and then I'm watching my calories, okay? So let's kind of draw a little timeline. This is wake up right here. So you wake up in the morning, go to about noon, you have first meal, and then you have about 1,000 calories. In my case, you may be having 600 calories. You may be having 500 calories. It all depends on how many calories you have to work with throughout the day. Because I exercise, because I'm, 6'1", and I'm a male, I can have a few more calories than many other people can. All right. And then we go throughout the day. Once nighttime rolls around, I have a 1,500 calorie dinner. And as a result, I hit that 2,500 calories, okay? And let's just say that right in here, before noon, I had a workout where I burnt 500 calories, okay? 500 calories put me in a 500 calorie deficit. As a result of all of this, I am going to lose about 1 pound a week, okay? It's that simple, okay? It's that simple, and it's something that you can do and make very sustainable for you to follow for a long period of time. Now, here's the thing that is really great about this method is that you're skipping that first meal. And this is where it's so powerful because a lot of people fall into this thing where they're trying to lose weight and they're eating 6 small meals a day and they're always hungry and they crave stuff. Forget about all of that, okay? Forget your first meal. Most people do not wake up hungry. Most people wake up feeling just fine. Push your first meal back, have a nice big lunch, and then you can have a huge dinner and you're satiated and you feel really, really good about yourself. You ate good whole foods that whole time. You got a workout in. You got that calorie deficit in. You're losing weight. You're losing weight and putting yourself into a smaller deficit so that it's sustainable. It'll last. And then as a result, you will lose weight over time. It does work, okay? This This is a fail-proof system. It works time and time again, and many people have lost tons of weight working with me in this sort of situation, okay? So don't hyper-focus on, I need to go to the gym and just work my abs out for an hour. I need to only focus on diet and nothing else matters. You know what? Put it all together. But calories is important. Fasting makes it easier, okay? Fasting makes it so that you can eat nice big meals that are holding you over, that make it feel like you're not even putting any effort into this whole thing. So fasting makes it easier. Exercise makes it easier. Not only is it good for the body, but it helps you develop that deficit to a higher extent every single day. And then lastly, the good whole food diet is going to work really well too. So give this video a thumbs up, put in the comment section below if you've used this method before. Like I said, this is the last video you need to see when it comes to weight loss. If you are not losing weight and you're struggling with it, then there's something that you're missing right here, okay? There's something that you're missing. And even if you're somebody who has, let's say, insulin resistance. Let's say that you have some condition like that and it's kind of causing some metabolic hormonal issues and you're struggling to lose weight, then you can make sure that you're following a diet like the ketogenic diet, okay? You add that extra piece in, okay? But for the most part, even if you're someone who is struggling with insulin resistance and you're still having some of those issues, then following a low carb diet is going to get you great results yet, okay? Whole foods, no sugar, cutting out all the toxic foods, getting rid of all the artificial foods, getting rid of the packaged foods. It's going to work very, very well. So focus in on cleaning this up right here if that's necessary. Go to the keto diet. Now, when you do this, like I said, it's easy. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. I'll put some links to some videos on 16 and 8 and 1 meal a day in the description below as well. If you are somebody who's struggling with weight loss, this is your answer. Share it with your friends and then watch this video right here on how to cut sugar out of your diet. What the studies show is that people who have, a particular microbiome, as in they have different bacteria in there that they don't necessarily want to have, they can actually crave sugar more often than those who don't. So it changes everything. It changes the way that your body functions.